Hi, Rachel here from the NOIC Godcast, where we offer wacky wisdom weekly from God's Word. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about being thankful with our family. So this month we're talking about living thankful and not just focusing on it for a day or a month, but truly living it. I think it's fairly easy for us to be thankful for a day or to think of it off and on during the month of November especially. But living it out looks much differently. And it would truly change our lives if we did live it out. As a mom of 3, soon to be 4, and a working husband, it's really easy to feel overwhelmed and lose my patience a time or two, or all the time. Between the never-ending housework, homeschooling, cooking 3 meals a day, plus snacks, answering the same 5 questions 1,000 times, and so on.
What are we doing today? What are we doing tomorrow?
What are we eating? What are we eating after that? Well, what is for snack?
Do they ever ask, like, what are they eating as they're eating? Like, they're eating lunch, and they're like, what's for dinner? And you're like,
yeah.
Let's get to lunch.
Yep.
That's weird to me.
Yeah, they just come pre-programmed with that.
Okay.
That's a nice feature. But sometimes I just feel like I just can't do it. And truth is, I can't. And daily I'm reminded that I was never meant to do that on my own. I believe my home is my first ministry. I believe that I was gifted with my precious children, an amazing husband, and blessed with a desire and opportunity to homeschool. Even knowing all of this is from God, that those are all gifts that he's specifically given me, it's still easy to feel less than thankful and feel overwhelmed at times. It's been a while now. I think it was before Kari. But a few years ago, everyone in this house was sick. CJ was sick and the kids was sick, and I wasn't. And so it was just a lot keeping up with all the sick people on a regular basis, plus all the other things, and it just got to me, and I was feeling really overwhelmed. So I went to my room just to have a moment. I don't think I was going in there specifically to pray, but just like to take a moment. But regardless, God decided to show up.
He's like, you need this.
So as I'm sitting there trying to have a pity party of how hard it was to take care of my sick family, he reminded me that there were so many out there who would do anything to have the opportunity to take care of even just one sick child. There's many women out there who would love to serve a sick husband. And he blessed me to have these things that some may never get to have. This changed my perspective. I go back to that moment often in my life when I start feeling overwhelmed or even just like frustrated with the situations. They're gifts from God that he blessed me with, and he would help me take care of them. He didn't give me these things and like, all right, figure it out. Like, you're welcome, because that's what I always wanted. He always said that he would help me in all of those hard situations. So now when I start to feel overwhelmed, I try to make it a practice to go to my room and pray, not have a pity party. Thanking him for what I have and asking that he would help me. I'm not perfect at this by any means, but there are many times I don't react to situations the way that I should. And I have to apologize to CJ or the kids for how I act. But he's there reminding me and helping me all along the way. I think the main thing to living out thankful life is keeping our eyes on him. When life is crazy and hard, and we're focused on him, we're reminded that we aren't meant to do it alone. When we're thinking of him and all he's done in our lives, you can't think of how he died on the cross for you and all the things he's done for you and grumble and complain. Like, you just can't do both. And the more I come to him and I dwell with him and think of him, the more thankful I am in all areas of my life.
I think that honestly, when it comes to, especially in family and specifically motherhood, but I think it does happen in fatherhood and like just different things, is we live in this age of social media where everything's perfect. Everything's like, I see so many videos of women that are unthankful for what they have, and they're complaining about it, or they're even just saying that they deserve, and it's the whole I deserve me time movement. And while I do believe that you probably do need a little bit of time when you're not in charge of all of your kids, you're not entitled to that. Life is hard. Motherhood is hard. Fatherhood is hard. Being single is hard. Ministry is hard. Everything in life is hard. There's no getting around it, but we all try to move around it and try to make our lives easier when it's never meant to be that way. And easy life is actually very stagnant. It's not like, so for me, I don't know about you, but like, there's been days that like I've gotten so much stuff done and like I was run ragged all day long, but I felt accomplished. I felt good. I felt that this is where God has placed me. This is my ministry. This is my home. And then there's days that like, if I'm like, no, I deserve to sit on this couch for 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And like, I do these things and I feel like garbage. Like by the end of the day, I'm like, I didn't do anything. I didn't serve the way. And it's not this equals my worth. It's this is what God has given me. This is my purpose. And if I'm not fulfilling my purpose, then I'm just going to feel like garbage, even though I felt like I was giving myself me time. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard to be thankful if you're constantly wanting out of it.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the problem is that like the women get together often and they're always like putting down their husbands. Yeah. And like the jokes are always of how horrible your husband is or how hard the kids are to take care of. And so when we're out of the situation, we're talking about how bad it is. Yep. We need to be focused on the good because then that's going to change your daily life and how you see the things. Yep.
So the Bible tells us that it's God's will for us to be thankful. Okay. So if there's anyone who doesn't want us to be within God's will, it's going to be Satan.
Yep.
Okay. So I believe that when we're being unthankful, that's like his plan.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's like the will of God is for you to be thankful. Well, I'm going to set you up so that you can be as unthankful as you possibly can be. Because I think when you become unthankful, like you said, you lose focus on everything. You know, I'm like you become very worldly minded because you're thinking about yourself. Yep. Okay, I need, alone time. I need a minute to sit down. I need a minute to catch my breath. And really, like, if God's carrying us, you know what I mean? It's as if, you guys are carrying one of your kids around on your back and they're like, Mom, stop. I'm out of breath. And you're like,
like, what do you mean?
Like, you're not doing anything. Like, I am the one carrying you. Yep. So why do you need you time when, you know what I mean? I'm doing all the work here. So I think that when we're reminded, who's really carrying us, who's supplying us, like we have no reason at all to be unthankful. Like we have reason to be even more thankful. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. So properly seeing our relationship within Christ, you know what I mean, would help us try to be unthankful. And I feel like that's awesome advice, Kevin. Do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because we all fall short of that constant thankful. You know what I mean? Like, we always want to, start complaining while we're being carried. Even like, it's just.
Well, I think it's the whole perspective thing, just like what you were talking about. It's so there's been a lot of times that as of recent, within the last 3-4 months, like my mind has shifted on a lot of things. And so in that shift, it's been one of those things where the goal in my head is that if I get frustrated, if I run up against something that's like frustrating, to pray and be thankful for the thing. Like, so if I'm irritated because my house is disaster, even though I just cleaned it, like there's toys everywhere because Tolkien decided as when I was changing Magnolia's diaper that he was going to, to dump everything out everywhere. I come out and I'm frustrated, to pray and be thankful. I have a child that is able to dump toys.
Yes.
I have toys for my child to dump.
Yeah.
I have the ability to clean these toys up. Do you know what I mean? Like those types of things. But those aren't things that's not your first reaction. You have to get yourself into a mode where you have to remind yourself each time. Eventually it'll become more habit.
Right.
But it takes a lot of work to do that.
But even like you said, it's not your first reaction. Yeah. And so, it was mentioned like there are like women groups, or I guess they're husband groups, but you never hear about them. Yeah. But there are women groups who like the sole purpose of going there is to vent about your husband and your kids. So that's not even like their first thought. You know what I mean? It's like, the group meeting is on Thursday and something happens on Monday. I'm like, I can't wait till Thursday and go tell the girls about this. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. So they carry that unthankfulness, and it's like a snowball.
Well, you're almost seen as, I don't even know, like unrelatable if you're thankful for things. Like,
could you imagine showing up and all like everyone's downing their husbands and you're like, I am so thankful for my husband. They'd be like, you probably should leave.
Yeah. Like they'd be like, that's good for you. Like, you know what I mean? It's almost weird if you're the one that's being like, oh, well, what did your kids do? Well, yeah, they did some weird things, but this is what they did this week. You know what I mean?
But isn't that like what we're here to do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you know, you're specifically called to enter a negative, bad situation, okay, showing God and rub off on the people who are there.
This is the peculiar people thing, like what you were talking about last week.
Exactly, yeah.
This is being peculiar. If you walk up to the rest of your moms at the school and you're just happy and you're thankful for having everything that you have, they're going to be like, that's weird.
Yeah.
You know?
But I think it's kind of contagious. Not that like if you show up thankful that everyone else is going to be thankful, but like out of all the comments that night, they'll probably remember yours.
Yeah.
It's going to stick out.
Sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
They may go home and vent about your husband.
Yeah.
Like, this one girl, she is just too much. Like, you know? And I think that's the thing, is that we just have to change our mindset on these things. And it doesn't have to just be motherhood. It can be anything in family.
Yeah.
Like, listen, CJ and Lucas get on my nerves sometimes. That's
Sometimes?
for the purposes of this podcast, sometimes. No, for legal reasons. No, but like they get on my nerves. But like, also, I have siblings. Like, I can turn to them. I can go to their house. I have a good relationship with them. Like, there's times that my mom and dad do things and I'm like, why in the world are you doing that? But I have mom and dad that love me and love my kids and love having a family. Do you know what I mean? They're just, and it doesn't have to be a mother thing. It doesn't have to be a father thing. It's just a family thing, is trying to look at your family as a thankful thing instead of looking at them as this is a burden that I have to be a part of or I have to take care of, you know?
Yes. But that also goes back to like, following Christ, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't have a rosy life, you know what I mean? So, and he said, count the cost. So by choosing to follow him, it's like saying, I'm sticking my hand in the boiling water. You know what I mean? And we never look at it as, I'm thankful I have a hand that I can stick in the boiling water. We look at it from, this is going to hurt. You know what I mean? And yet that is exactly what we're called to do.
Even in the chastisement, even the things that God is like, you know, the trials and things, those are the things that you can be thankful for because God put you there.
Right, yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like God is using it for something. Now, it's not always going to be fun. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be easy. But it's the things that you should be thankful for because God is using that. God is chastising you. He loves you enough to chastise you.
Right. And even when we get to a difficult situation, like we're growing in that situation or, you know, something's happening and we can't see the outcome to it, but we should still be thankful because it's like, oh, wow, like the creator of the universe chose to use me to show other people this or to do this. Like, how much more thankful can you be than that? You know what I mean?
It's just a mind change.
So for the considerable quote today, it's from Elisabeth Elliot. Lord, what will you give me today to offer back to you? And then the featured content is Goodness of God by Cece.
Winans.
I always say Winans.
Okay.
What else would you say?
Winans.
I've never heard anyone struggle with it, but okay.
Winans. I have to look up
your answer. Yeah, I ours are very similar. I didn't realize that until later.
It's fine. What was it? The largest turkey on record?
Yeah.
Oh, let's look.
Hopefully it's the same.
Hopefully it'll take you back to the same website.
I'm almost 100% sure it's the it's 86 pounds. 86-pound turkey. And I don't remember what letter that is. I think maybe in D because I feel like you didn't like the way that they were in
They were out of order.
Yeah. I think it was
order.
D.
Yeah.
Mine are also out of order.
We need to have a meeting after.
Be thankful for us, Kevin.
I am.
Just not your typing skills.
But you guys should be thankful that I want them in order.
How much does Case weigh?
Like it depends on the day. Like
because
75.
Because like bigger than Kason.
Yeah, it weighs more than Kason.
Yeah.
That's a big turkey.
So to go along with the large things of Thanksgiving
it's
meal.
Thanksgiving. Yeah. Everything's large.
So I don't know. I kind of feel like these numbers are wrong. I just don't know how that could be a thing. But how much did the largest pumpkin pie weigh? 3,699 pounds, 4,542 pounds, 1,999 pounds or 3,001 pounds.
I think that's a real thing.
It
Because
is a lot of pie.
Because I've seen where they do like the really big
I mean,
pizzas.
they're hefty
They're
pies.
hefty. Yeah. Like you're talking of normal pies, probably about 2 to 3 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, I don't like pumpkin pie, so that's just a lot of pie.
See, I would need
All the whipped cream.
Yeah.
But I feel as though what did you need? What
Whipped cream.
Yeah, that's be
All
more
of it.
whipped cream. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like things like that, it's because like it's a like not a natural thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the turkey, you kind of have to like take care of that turkey to get it that big. A pie, you're just like, we're gonna make a pie that weighs this much.
Like, where do you get such a big dish?
Like it would have to be.
They probably made it.
You know what?
In several small.
I want to know how many square
parts
foot.
and then put it together. Yeah.
Square foot.
How many square
What
foot?
is the square footage of this pie?
Yeah. I wonder how deep it was.
What's the cubic feet?
Yeah.
All right, so happy birthday to Charity Wilson, Velvet Atkins, Star Turner, Kristen Spencer, James Jones, Cole Fink, Casey Justice, and this week also would have been Connor Miller's birthday.
Oh yeah.
So happy birthday, everyone.
Happy birthday.
Mail?
How sad that is just to see that so large and empty.
No mail.
Nothing from the mailroom.
Nothing from the mailroom. At least we don't know. There may be.
Yeah.
Maybe. But Josh is our mailman.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and we will see you next week.
All right. Bye guys.
Are you zooming in on her or no?
Yeah.
For this intro.
Yeah.
You know, it's a big trust
I'm
thing.
over here picking my nose.
Yeah.
Or something.
It'll be just you.
It'll just be me. Flicking it at Kevin.
Let's not do that.